Here's some more on the Feinstein thing, which I'm quite confident is this call for her resignation right now is behind the California Democratic State Party Progressive Caucus, because they were the first to come out and endorse Barbara Lee. Then Ro Khanna did so, and he endorsed the entire slate that ran for leadership roles in the Progressive Caucus. And I just feel like this is so contrived, and the timing doesn't make sense at this point, other than they want to push Barbara Lee in because she is incapable as a fundraiser. She's outmatched by the other two competitors in the race, and they want their pick. They want their pick. They're claiming that she's more progressive than Katie. I don't know that that's necessarily true. I went over her voting record in another video where it appears that she very often abstains, which is not good for us. All right, let's go over this. This is so wild.
Turning, some are saying, on Democratic Senator from California, Dianne Feinstein, and demanding that she resign. Let me remind everybody what is going on. And there's a lot of sad stuff going on in this story. Dianne Feinstein is currently the longest serving member of the U.S. Senate. She is 89 years old. She has announced she is not seeking re-election in 2024. There have been many concerns. I want to be as respectful as possible, but also be accurate. There have been many concerns for years now about Dianne Feinstein's cognitive state. There are public examples, tough to watch, I admit, public examples of Dianne Feinstein asking a witness during a Senate hearing a question, hearing an answer from the witness, and then looking down at her papers and asking the exact same question a second time, seemingly forgetting that she just asked that question. There are endless reports from staffers and people in D.C. who work at the Senate saying Dianne Feinstein regularly will meet someone that she has met many times before, even recently, and has no recollection of having met that person. So listen, I mean, we don't have a diagnosis here, but there have been concerns for years about this as far as Dianne Feinstein goes.
Yeah, and that's the problem, is that all of the live streamers who are making commentary on this are making assumptions without the actual medical degrees necessary to determine what's going on with her. And often we all get into a brain fog here and there and forget where we are on the paper, or, can't remember names, have face blindness, whatever it is. So these are not, I think that if it was an actual serious problem, they would have pulled her years ago. But because it's only sporadic and it doesn't seem to be impacting the way she votes, it doesn't seem to be that problematic to let her ride out her term. And it would be incredibly disruptive to the current race for her seat if they pulled her now and made an appointment. Because if they made an appointment, it'd be Gavin Newsom, and he has stated as much that he wants to appoint Barbara Lee. And I mean, that's fine, I guess, but it's not the will of the people. And the only way you're pushing her in is because you want to have that affirmative action, right? You want to have a person of color rise up into that seat, of preferably a female. And she is incapable of raising the kind of funds to actually get the seat on her own merits than Katie or Adam, because they're better fundraisers than she is. That's the reality.
It is the right decision at this point. She had a great run to not run for re-election in 2024. What has surfaced in the wake of this is that there is a primary in California in which 3 members of the House of Representatives have decided to run for Dianne Feinstein's Senate seat. That's Adam Schiff, who we've interviewed, Barbara Lee, who we're going to interview, and Katie Porter, who we would like to interview, but so far has not responded to our requests. You can't.
I'll make sure that she finds out that you did this. Okay? But yeah, like, I mean, it's obviously a hot race. And so interrupting it right now would be very crazy to us because all 3 of these people are giving up their congressional seats. And so we have a power vacuum going on underneath them. But yeah, I'll make sure the Katie people know that you want her interview.
Run for House and Senate at the same time, meaning that while all 3 of them, Barbara Lee, Adam Schiff, and Katie Porter, who are mid-70s, early 60s, and around 50 years old, respectively, while they are all competing for the Senate seat, their congressional seats are now going to be open because they can't run for both at the same time.
Right.
Dianne Feinstein, on top of this, as is reported by Newsweek, has recently been out with shingles. And this is particularly impactful because Dianne Feinstein is on the Judiciary Committee. And when you have such a divided government the way we have right now, where Democrats barely control the Senate, judicial appointees are one of the relatively few ways that Democrats can assert power, use their majority, and try to assist Joe Biden in getting things done. Because of Dianne Feinstein's absence from that committee, it has effectively made it impossible for Senate Democrats to continue confirming Joe Biden's judicial nominations. So, both because it would potentially allow a different dynamic in the primary, which would be better for Democrats, and because of this issue on the Senate judiciary,
No.
more and more Democrats are saying that they...
No. It's not going to be better for us if Gavin Newsom makes an appointment. That's not going to be better for us. And we're already in the midst of this contentious political cycle. Let them duke it out. She is a warm body in a seat that can cast votes, period. They already have pulled her from the Judiciary Committee, so they're going to replace her there, so they still have the majority. So that's solved, okay? So really we only need her for the big votes. She can handle that. And as long as the upper leadership is communicating with her staff and telling her which way to vote, that's all she needs to fucking do at this point. And I'm sick to death of progressives telling me that she needs to be like a fucking lawyer on the top of her game when they told me that certain candidates we were running who were completely unqualified for the positions they were running for, we should back them anyway because they're a vote for us. If that's all we need in government is a vote for us, then give me a goddamn break. We don't have to deal with her for much longer. Okay? But you waited too long. Had you pulled her earlier in her term and made that appointment, it would make more sense. But now you're doing it as a political move to hurt 2 other people's campaigns. That's some bullshit.
And Feinstein should resign right now.
No.
If Dianne Feinstein did resign, and Farron Cousins talked about this when filling in for me last week to some degree, the governor of California, currently Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom, would get to appoint a replacement to fill the vacancy. Now, you have to understand that there are different dynamics in California depending on how long it is until the next general election. If Dianne Feinstein were to resign within 6 months of the general election, there wouldn't be a special election for the seat. You would just wait until the general election. When you have
Yeah, how does that help us? Then we're 1 seat down. We're 1 seat down for 6 months. Right? I don't understand how all of you are all connected, but you're all connected. The fact that you're taking orders from like Ro Khanna and Karen Bernal is fucking astounding to me. because these are bad decisions. And yet you guys just fucking repeat it. You repeat their bad decisions over and over again because somehow they have connections, right? They have connections. They're able to get you to say whatever the fuck they want you to say. This is not the best idea. Had you pulled her a couple of years ago, that would be great. But right now, you're going to interrupt a very contentious U.S. Senate race. This is stupid as fuck. And it's disappointing to me that all you progressive people are like just jumping on board with whatever fucking messaging they give you. You're like, yep, sounds great. I totally trust you. I have complete faith in the information you give to me over and over again. That's why I help you with your smear campaigns. That's why I help you with your, pushing forward candidates that you've shined up as turds. Barbara Lee would make a fine senator, but let her win it fairly, please.
I'm sorry, when you have more than 180 days left, then you would do a special election. Right now, because we have more than 180 days until the 2024 election, if Dianne Feinstein resigned today, you would see the appointment by Gavin Newsom, and then you would see a special election. That is potentially a much better path forward.
No.
Both, number one, because of its impact on the Senate Judiciary Committee, and number two, because it might actually change the game with regard to so many Democratic open seats in the House of Representatives that increasingly Democrats are saying that is exactly what should be done. It doesn't appear as though...
She's a senator, dude. She's a senator. What are you talking about, House of Representatives? What are you talking about? The House of Reps race for those 3 districts is unrelated to who gets chosen for U.S. Senate. It's already happened. There's going to be no change in the U.S. House race because they've already decided they're not going to run because they're running for U.S. Senate. So how the fuck will any decision by Gavin Newsom affect the U.S. House race? It won't. It won't because it's already happening. Okay? People are already running in those districts because we know that those 3 reps are running for Senate. That's done. That's a done deal, Dave. That's already happening. And it's not going to be affected by whether there's an appointee or there's an actual race. It has to happen because none of those 3 people are running in their districts.
Right now, there
Oh
is
my God.
big momentum for Dianne Feinstein to actually do that, and it's unclear whether that is going to change. The other aspect to this that's being discussed is what about appointing a replacement on the Judiciary Committee for Dianne Feinstein? I don't have a lot of news to give you about that right now, but
That's already happening, Dave. Come on. Do you watch the news? Fuck's sake, man. That's already happening. She's already said that it's okay to, appoint somebody else on the Judiciary Committee. This is already happening. Why? Oh my God, even.
it is certainly something that is being discussed. My leaning right now is that it would probably be a good idea for Dianne Feinstein to resign. What exactly the timing of that would be, and this issue of the replacement versus getting back to the Senate Judiciary Committee, I don't know. It's not about, again, it's not about stigmatizing. It's not about making fun of anyone. It's not about any of these things.
I don't know who the fuck is donating to all y'all, but it's some bullshit that you're falling in line with a bad strategy. This is amazing that this is how it goes every fucking time that y'all line up with these smear campaigns to try and get your way, and your way is not the right way, and it's just going to hurt us more. Why can't you just let democracy happen? Fuck's sake.
It's about political expediency. And Feinstein has had an incredible run in the Senate, has accomplished so much, iconic in so many different ways.
Oh.
Nothing is being taken away from her, in my mind, if she did resign. Republicans are jumping all over this and saying she should not resign. And now Democrats are being bad in some way by urging her to do so. This is, of course, Republicans concerned only with self-preservation and realizing that it's actually been a great thing for them that Joe Biden's judicial nominees have been held up as a result of this. So I quite frankly could not care less what Republicans say. They just want whatever is best for them. It does seem open.
But they're not going to be held up because she's already said she's okay with being replaced on the committee. So what the hell, like, your argument makes no sense. She's already stated that it's okay to replace her on that committee, so the judge appointments will go through. So what's the fucking problem here?
Overall, that what's best for the Senate and what's best for Democrats would be for Dianne Feinstein to resign. I'm willing to change my mind. If you disagree with me, simply let me know in a comment, in an email, in a tweet.
Okay.
Hurry, there is an epic sale on...
Okay. I'll send you the link to my video if that's how you feel.